Squad, is the big homie SB23 back at you with some more words of wisdom. Today we're going to talk about how not to be a self-sabotager, because oftentimes in life, like I always start off my videos, we'll step in the way of our own purpose. So we'll get in our own way. So you can have situations like, and it could be simple situations or it could be like serious situations, but in all situations we will do things that'll impede our own progress. So take for instance, like again, I just came from the gym, and that's something that I implemented into my regular everyday routine so that I can level up my creative player. Like one of my recent videos, I can level up myself on all levels, because when you hit the gym, not only is it a physical thing, but it's a spiritual thing, and it could be an emotional thing. Because like I said before, if you got some stuff going on in your life, even if it doesn't matter if it's good or bad, when you hit the gym, that's a way to turn that energy into positivity. So if you have something positive going on in your life and you hit the gym, you just add into that positivity. If you got something negative going on in your life and you hit the gym, you can turn that negative energy into positive energy. And then when you leave the gym, it's less negativity on you because you exercise that energy off you. So, but if you're a person who is not consistent in the things that you say you're gonna do, then that's how you can self-sabotage, because you can make up a plan and say, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym at least once a week. But then, you know, when it comes to that gym day, you make excuses as to why you can't get there. Oh, it's snowing, it's cold, or it's, you know, I don't got that. I gotta go put some gas in the truck. I really don't feel like doing that right now. Or I gotta go, you know, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that I gotta do. I gotta clean the house and blah, 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 blah. When really you just making excuses to not have to get up and go put that work in. To where if you was to stop making excuses, get up and go do what you said you was gonna do, you will see the results that you want to get, because you're following your own purpose. You're not getting in your own way. So that's just one example of self-sabotaging. You know, oftentimes we will make excuses as to why we can't do something, knowing good and damn well that really ain't no reason to why you're not doing it, other than you just being lazy and you don't feel like, you might not feel like doing it, but not realizing that if you just get yourself up and get to the gym or whatever it is that you got to do, once you get there, then you're like, okay, I'm here now, I might as well go ahead and put that work in. And when you put the work in afterwards, you're gonna feel really good about yourself. So, you know, I walked out today feeling amazing, but again, I wake up every day feeling amazing because I'm putting that work in. I'm making sure that I hold myself accountable and I get up and do the things that I need to do in order for me to upgrade my creative player. So that's one way you could like self-sabotage is like physically you can be not doing the things that you know you need to do because you're making excuses as to the reason why you can't do it, when you know good and damn well, like I said, that there's no reason for you not to be able to do it outside of you just being lazy or just really not believing in yourself, which is another way you can self-sabotage, is not believing in yourself about something. So let's say you want to set a goal as to you want to be a business owner. Like me, when I wanted to be a business owner, I was making up excuses, and ego is the big killer. Ego is like fear. Ego tell you something in your mind or in your head and have you thinking something completely opposite of what reality is. So ego, you'll have a plan, and then the ego will get into your mind and say you can't do that or you shouldn't do that, and give you a whole bunch of reasons to why you shouldn't do what you plan on doing, because the other half of you is trying to keep you safe, but also trying to keep you in a place of comfort. So it's like, no, you're good where you're at. Like, you don't need to do that. Just go to your 9-to-5 job. You know, you're good with that. You got benefits and all that other stuff. But not understanding, like, yeah, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with having that job, but there's nothing wrong with wanting more too. And why would you want to work for somebody else when you can work for yourself? And why would you want to work for somebody else and make them rich off of your hard-earned sweat and tears and blood, when you can go put that same energy into your own thing, and then you be working for yourself and make yourself rich. You know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with having that job and keeping things sustained up until you can create your own lane. Because when you create your own lane, then that creates freedom within your life. So now you can move around the way that you want to move around, instead of moving around how somebody else is telling you you have to move around to meet their standards. So again, for me, like when I was thinking about wanting to be a business owner, that was years ago. When I was in high school and middle school, I had this idea that I wanted to own my own business. And when I graduated from college, I didn't take the steps right away. And, looking back, I wish I would have. But again, you self-sabotage. You let other distractions get in the way, be it, you young, so you want it around you, drugs, or if you chasing women, or if you're chasing men, if you're a female, or if you are doing just a whole bunch of nonsense that don't really got nothing to do with your life purpose, you get distracted and you self-sabotage yourself, instead of sticking to that idea that you had deep within your core to go do something, and then following that instinct. Because when you do that, you follow that instinct, and now, okay, you off and running. It might not you might not reap the benefits from it right then and there as soon as you start it, but if you keep putting that effort in, it's just like if you plant anything in a garden, or if you are a farmer or whatever like that, or if you even plant something at your house. When you plant that seed, it doesn't pop up right away the next day into the plant. You gotta wait for it to germinate, and then you gotta fertilize and water it, and then you gotta watch it grow, and then you gotta make sure ain't no pests get into it. You gotta make sure you're keeping it fed properly. But then eventually, after 2-3 months, or however long it takes you to build whatever thing that you're building, maybe take 2-3 years, or maybe 10 years. You never know. It depends on what it is you're trying to build. As long as you stay consistent and you stay on top of it, you're gonna reap the harvest. You're gonna get that fruit of your labor. So it's just having that understanding that everything that you do takes time and patience, and not everything is instant gratification. And that's another thing that will self-sabotage you if you're a creature of instant gratification, because not everything comes instantaneously. You gotta wait sometimes and be patient in order to get your gifts. And that's another thing. You could, let's say you plant an idea or a seed, and it grows, and it's growing and it's growing and it's growing. A lot of people will check out of it before they're right at the precipice of getting the fruits of their labor, and right before the harvest season comes, they hop out of it, and then they miss their opportunity instead of just sticking with it, because they get impatient and they see something over here, and it's like, oh, let me go run over here to this thing because it's already done, not understanding that thing that they ran over to wasn't for them. It was for somebody else, but they hopped onto that thing, and then they missed everything that they just put all this time and effort and energy into, and then they miss that. So whoever they leave that to go over there, and then they miss the real opportunity that was over here, because they didn't understand that was right there. It was about the be harvest season, and if they would have just stuck with it, they would have had much bigger harvest than this going over here to this crop. That, yeah, okay, this crop might have what you're looking for in that moment, but is it sustainable? Is it something that's going to last you a lifetime, or is it just going to last for this 30 minutes or for these 2-3 months, or whatever it is that you have that crop for? Because that crop, it's already done, but that crop wasn't meant for you. That crop was meant for whoever it is that grew that crop. So they're just giving you a piece of what they they grew, but after that, that's theirs. That's not yours. Whatever you had over here was yours, but you left it, and then now somebody else is going to reap the benefits of where you were supposed to be. So that's another way of self-sabotaging me. Is not understanding the process, not realizing and really focusing in on what you were supposed to be doing within your own scenario. Another way of self-sabotaging is not understanding your gifts. So if you got a special gift and you don't tap into it, you can self-sabotage yourself, because you're not you're not fully utilizing everything in your tool belt. A lot of people, like I said in my other videos, don't understand they got superpowers. When I say superpowers, I don't mean literally like they can fly or shoot laser beams out of their eyes or stuff like that. When I say superpowers, I mean you have a gift that is supernaturally given to you from the upper echelons of the universe. And if you can understand and tap into whatever that gift is, then you can manifest things very instantaneously and without struggling to do so. So again, for me, one of my gifts is my vision. Like I said in one of my other videos, that's one of the gifts that I have is vision. I'm able to see things happening before they happen. So I know what's going to happen before it comes. That's why chess, again, like I said in my other video, chess is one of my favorite games, because in that game, you got to be able to play it to where you, not only do you know the steps that you want to take, but you know you can predict the steps that somebody else is going to take. And even if they do something that you can't predict, once you see the move, you can then reorganize how you're going to move in order to combat that unexpected move. So that's why I said before, oftentimes in life, people are playing this game on a checkers level, which checkers is a strategic game too, but it's not on the level of chess. So if you're playing checkers and somebody like me is playing chess, then you're only making, your moves that you're making are only like, they pale in comparison to the moves that I'm making, because you're only making moves on like a 2D level to where I'm making it on like a 5D. So it's like, not only do I know what you're gonna do, I know how to combat what you're gonna do. And chess, and that's like with poker too. Like when you play poker, like another one of my favorite games is Texas Hold'em. When you play poker, once you get the understanding of the game down, and this is with any game, once you can understand how the game is played, then you could bend the game to your will. Now you can do things that are unpredicted within it, because now you understand the rules of the game and how it works. So you can start to predict how things are going to go. So like in Texas Hold'em, if you can pay attention to how many cards have been played out and the probability of who has what, then you can predict what's coming up in the flop, or in the, you know, when you have your cards and they pull those next few cards, you can kind of predict what's out there so that you can have a better outcome when it comes to winning the game. So, and a lot of times, if you know what you got, and let's say you got a good hand and you know somebody out there is bluffing, you can call their bluff. So you can put them into so in this scenario, they think that they have the upper hand, not knowing that really you have the upper hand, but you're playing dumb as if you don't know that you already won the game. So you lull them into thinking that they're winning, all while you won. So like, again, bring it back to chess. There's been plenty of times in my life that I've been checked, because I'm a king. So again, if I'm the king, you got to beat the king in order to win the game. So I'm the king in the game and you have your king. If you think that, or you can check me multiple times throughout the game, but you can only beat me if you get me in checkmate, which means that there's moves I can't make. I can't make any more moves. But if you check me and there's still moves to be made on my end, then I can make a move, and 2-3 moves later you be in checkmate and you be wondering how that even happened. But I already knew I was gonna win the game because I can see all the plays being made. So again, that's another way that you can avoid being a self-sabotager, is understanding the game to the full extent and playing it at the highest level, which is what I was talking about in my previous video. So, and another way of self-sabotaging is not protecting your energy. You got to make sure you protect your energy. So me, again, I'm one of those people who's a giver, but sometimes you can overgive. But again, within that, oftentimes I will give to the extent of knowing that I did everything possible to do right by whoever's around me. So even though I know, like, I can see that you're not doing right by me, I'm gonna let it go until I feel satisfied with the fact that I know I did right by you, and then I'll let life take over and karma's gonna come to you. So yeah, that's just some words of wisdom from the big homie. Don't be a self-sabotager. Protect your energy and make sure you always play the game at the right in the right way so that good things come back to you. All right, y'all, I'm out of here.